Hello and welcome to this video. I was asked the other day about what I actually did with my day as a tutor, and that has changed a lot over the last nine years next month since we started well, 9 years last month since we started the business. Originally, it was Star Tutoring. Star was my maiden name, but then when we went to franchise it in 2019, I couldn't get a trademark on the name Star, so we swapped to Clara James Tutoring, Clara being my oldest daughter, Jamie is my son, Logo is Angel, my youngest daughter. Um, but what I do with my day has changed so much over the last 9 years. When I first started Clara James, or the business, back in 2012, um, I was still working a full-time job. So I would go to work 9 till 6 were the hours that we worked. Some weeks we'd have a day off during the week so that we could work Saturdays. Come home and then get the kids ready or get the kids their dinner. They're both teenagers by this stage. Clara had already left home, and go out, do a couple of hours tutoring, come back, eat, and then start preparing the next day's lessons. So basically all the time I had was spent working in the business as a tutor rather than actually on the business, growing the business, and getting it more established. So after 6 months, I was able to give up the tutoring business. No, sorry, forget that. After 6 months, I gave up the full-time job so I could focus purely on growing the business. And that meant that I was able to focus more. I could spend more time growing the business. But there were still days when you'd be busy all day, busy, not productive. And then you'd give the kids their dinner, and then in the evening you'd be spent sat with them, were creating resources while you were having kind of like family time together. And then you'd still be sat there till the early hours making the resources for the next day. And I don't know, it was just, the business was growing, but not at the speed it could have been because my priorities were all completely wrong. And I think I was getting so tired and so disillusioned as well with staying up so late. I'm not a night owl. Staying up so late so that you could get everything done and make sure it was right for the next day. So what I'd do is I'd make the resources and check it was all okay. Then before I went to bed, I would check it again just to double check so I had time. And then when I woke up in the morning, I would double check I had everything again. So part of my lesson plan, I would also have listed everything that would be needed for that lesson to make sure I didn't leave anything behind. And I'd turn up with anything without something that I needed. So at that time, I was still focusing very much on working in the business. However, flash forward 9 years to where we are today. And these days, what I've done is I've chunked my day into 6 parts. So sometimes they have to be split, but just because you might have lessons sporadically throughout the day rather than in chunks, though I do try to keep it chunked because that way you can spend your time more effectively. But the 6 parts I have for my day always start the day with kind of like the usual hygiene and stuff like that, and taking the dog for a walk. And as part of my walk, although she doesn't go far first thing in the morning, in fact we may sometimes be out less than 5 minutes, um, I'll always spend time talking to her about what my plans are for the day, what my key focus is, any concerns or anything I've got, and somehow just explaining it to her seems to clear my head. So that's, although it sounds ludicrous, that's probably one of the most important parts of the day. And then for the next 6 parts, what I do is I have one section where I'm creating resources and one section obviously where I'm actually carrying out the lessons. So that's two of my parts of my day done. But that is all I do working in the business. The other 4 parts focus on actually growing the business. So one part every day I try to watch some form of training module. It may be something that I've been introduced to by my mentor or the group the business that she works for, or it may be have been suggested by another mentoring group that I belong to, or it could be just something that I've come across which I think would improve my personal growth. The next section would be, I always read 20 pages of a non-fiction book every day, because again, I believe that by growing yourself, it helps you grow your business. There's always going to be things that we don't know, no matter how much or how long we've been doing things. Things are changing all the time, and no one can be perfect at everything. And I think anyone who thinks that they are is living under false illusions. So there's always room for growth. So the training modules and reading are my two ways of helping me grow and improve. The next thing I would do is, so the other two things I would do are, every day I ask myself, what can I do today to help me move my business forward? What can I do today to help me become a better tutor? What can I do today to help me provide a better service for those that I work with? And so that would be section number 5, and that's probably the most important part of building the business. And it could be that that's something that I've been inspired by one of the training modules or a book I've read, or it could be just looking at coming out of the business and looking at it from a bird's eye view and kind of thinking, well, actually that needs improving. I need to change that page on the website. I need to do this. I need to do that. The resources I have for this are quite limited. I perhaps need to introduce something new because I don't have anything that would support that specific style of learner. It could be that I send out an email to people on my list to help them with an idea that I've had, or it could be anything, but it's something that will help me move my business forward. And then the final thing I do is every day I plan what I'm going to do the following day, so that when I wake up in the morning and I take the dog for a walk, I know exactly what I'm going to be doing. And so I know what I need to talk to her about. So for example, but what I do is at the beginning of the year, I know my targets for the year and I write them down. And then I chunk those into smaller bits and I put this all into Asana. And then what I do is then break that into four quarterly goals, which I then chunk down further, which I can then take chunks from there and put them into my fortnightly goals, which I then chunk down further. And then each fortnight I have I break it down further, and each week I put my weekly goals in my pad, and then I also have them on the Asana. So I have, by the time it gets to weekly goals, I have them in both. And then I have my daily goals, which I write down in my diary, and I also have in Asana. So I have it as both, so that if I'm on the computer, I don't have my diary to hand, then I've got it there. If I've got my diary to hand and I'm out or something, I have it with me and I can just jot down any thoughts that I have. But by always having steps towards my next, it keeps me focused. And I think keeping focused is probably one of the key things in growing the business. So that's what I do in my day as a tutor. Hope you found that interesting. Have a really great day. And if you're looking to become a tutor and you want help, then pop across to our brand associates page. The link's in the comments below, and we promise we'll always do everything that we can to help. Take care. Speak soon. Bye.